We are here today.
Is anything in my teeth?
I really hope this makes it into the video.
I really don't. Hey y'all, it's Brooke and I'm in the Delish test kitchen. I'm super pumped because I get to show you guys how to make my absolute all-time favorite side dish, mashed potatoes. This is not a drill, it is game time. This is the absolute best Thanksgiving side, and I'm ready to debate anybody on that, so let's get it. I've eaten a lot of mashed potatoes in my day, but the reason I love this recipe so much, it's the perfect hybrid of pillowy and creamy because we use not one, but two kinds of potatoes. So you've got the russet potatoes right here, which are starchy, and these are gonna give your mashed potatoes that nice pillowy fluffiness that you love in mashed potatoes. But we also have a nice Yukon Gold. Usually these are done separately. You have a mashed potato that's all russet or all Yukon Gold, but combining them gives us the fluffy in the russet and the creamy in the Yukon Gold.
Brooke,
yeah.
I have a question.
Shoot.
This is from Amy on our YouTube.
Hey, Amy.
She's asking about the types of potatoes.
Okay.
I always find that my family makes the driest mashed potatoes. I think it's because they use all russet. Should you use multiple types?
Yes, Amy, we absolutely do use multiple types of potatoes. That's what I'm so excited about. So your family's potatoes are dry, and I'm sorry about that, but your family's potatoes are dry because you're using all russets. That's exactly right. They're too fluffy, they're too starchy, they're soaking up all that butter, all that moisture from the liquid. And the solution is a creamy potato, like this Yukon Gold here. When you're boiling your potatoes, you can either peel them and chop them up and boil them in small pieces, or you can do what I like to do and boil them whole. It's way easier, and then you also trap all that potatoey goodness inside, and you don't get as much water in the potato, so it'll be a little bit fluffier and it won't be quite as waterlogged when you're ready to mash them up. Now it's time for the easy part. We're just boiling the potatoes. All you need is a big old pot of water, give it a generous pinch of salt, and while the water is still cold, go ahead and add your potatoes in whole, and then turn the heat to high.
I have a question for you.
Great.
Okay, this is from Nick C. Shores. Should I boil water on high or do a low simmer for the potatoes?
I'm doing a rolling boil because my potatoes are whole and they still have the skins on them. If your potatoes are chopped, turn the heat down just a little bit so they don't fall apart. So to prep for your potatoes while they're boiling, all you do is heat up the milk and the butter together. What that'll do is make them nice and warm so they don't shock the warm potatoes when they go in. When it comes to mashed potatoes, don't shy away from full fat things. Go for that whole milk, go for that really fatty butter. Don't use margarine unless you're, staying away from dairy, that's fine. But if you're not, definitely get the fattiest, best butter you can find.
Brooke, I have a question.
Okay.
Oh. This is from Carolina. If I don't have heavy cream, can I sub with milk or half and half?
Girl, yes. I don't have heavy cream either. It's fine. I'm using milk today. Like I said, use whole milk. Don't shy away from the fat. But if you don't have cream, there's literally 1,000 other things you can use. Milk, evaporated milk, half and half. If you want to use a nut milk, you can go that route. Just please, for the love of God, don't use skim milk. You might as well put water in your potatoes. Don't do that. It'll make me sad. I'll know. Potatoes have been going for a little bit, and now it's time to test and see if they're nice and soft and ready to be mashed. All you need to do is take a knife, and if it slides out easily like that, they're nice and soft in the middle and ready to be peeled and mashed. The easiest way to peel these potatoes is gonna be to shock them in some ice water. When we do that, the skins will start to shrink back and then they slide off really easily. This is the easy part of the peeling potatoes, so you don't have to bust out your peeler for this one. All you do is pick it up, give it a twist, and the skin comes right off.
Wow, that was really satisfying. Oh my gosh.
And once you've got that all peeled, they can go right back into the pot where they'll be ready for that warm milk and butter. I don't love skins in my mashed potatoes, but this is a choose your own adventure mashed potato, so you can do whatever your heart desires. If you like a little extra chunk, a little bit of rustic in your potatoes, definitely leave them on. It's super common with red skin potatoes, but you can do it for russet and Yukon Gold potatoes. It's your house, you do what you want. If you do want to peel the skins off like I'm doing, all you gotta do afterwards is discard them. You don't need to keep them or hang on to them for anything. Once your potatoes are all boiled and tender and soft, it's time to mash them, and you can do that in a couple of different ways. There's the super rustic, I'm just gonna go in there with a fork and mash them. You can use a potato masher, good old-fashioned potato masher. But if you like really creamy, smooth, silky potatoes, I'd recommend going with the ricer. I like to use the ricer because I like to get the smoothest, creamiest, fluffiest potato possible. Some people, like a crazy friend of mine, like big chunks of potato in their mashed potato, and that's okay. You're allowed to love that. If you've ever used a garlic press, potato ricers work in the exact same way. So you've got your little chamber there, drop your potato in, and then you just press. So I'm gonna keep ricing these potatoes. While you're working on them, just build one side of the pot with unriced potatoes and then riced potatoes into the other side of the pot, because I don't wanna do extra dishes. As you can see, ricing the potatoes made them super fluffy, and I can't wait to get this warm butter and milk in there so they get nice and creamy and flavorful. That's all we have to do, just add the warm butter and milk. Then we'll add in some sour cream, which is kind of like the secret ingredient here. Gives it a nice little tang and really makes the mashed potatoes pop. Don't forget to season your potatoes, guys. Bland potatoes are wasted potatoes. And potatoes take a lot of salt, so don't be shy about it. Go in there with a pinch, taste it. Go back with another pinch, taste it, until you have perfect potatoes. So these are done. All we have to do is put them into a serving platter and then some bowls. We can top this with more butter, some chives, salt and pepper, whatever your heart desires. The mashed potatoes are all done. It's pretty much like Christmas morning to me. You can't tell me it's not. I'm gonna go ahead and eat these because I can't wait any longer. As the resident potato queen, these are perfect. They're absolutely perfect. They're irresistible. They're perfectly seasoned. They're fluffy. They're still creamy. They've got the butter in there, the milk. You can taste the fat, which is what you want for potatoes. But wait, there's more. Leftover land. The only thing I love better than fresh mashed potatoes are leftover mashed potatoes, because I can eat them for breakfast, but also because I can turn them into loaded fried mashed potatoes. Super simple to do. Take your leftover mashed potatoes, combine them in a bowl with some hot sauce, cheddar cheese, chives, and egg, form them into patties, and then you'll fry them up in a little bit of oil until they're nice and golden brown on both sides. After they're nice and golden brown, hit them with a little bit of salt. You can dip them in some ketchup. You can eat them straight. They're kind of like latkes, but not really. And some of you might call them potato pancakes. You might already be doing this with your leftovers. If so, good job. Okay, let's get it popping with these little leftover mashed potato pancakes that I made. Remember, these have the chives in there, a little hot sauce for a little kick. And it just needs a dunk in some sour cream. Is that better? That might be better than the mashed potatoes. If you tell anyone I said that, I'll deny it. But this is delicious. These loaded fried mashed potatoes, y'all, these are the truth. They've got that melty cheese in there, the sharp cheddar with a little tang, some chives, and that kick from the hot sauce. And then, of course, the fluffy potato, which just makes the whole thing perfect. I'm so excited. I'm gonna go eat the rest of these. But if you need more side recipes for Thanksgiving, like these wonderful mashed potatoes, stick around at delish.com all season long.